Paul was born back in Cambridge, Massachusetts while I was still at MIT. After we moved out to California, he was still very young, maybe under 2. His grandfather came out to visit and wanted to watch the television, but we had to unplug the TV to kind of discourage that. And so Paul crawled over under the TV and replugged it in. He was always aware of electrical and mechanical type of objects, always interested by them. He was also very entrepreneurial, and so with a friend he set up a skateboard assembly operation and would sell skateboards to kids in the community. And that one actually went on for a few years and perhaps was part of his early interest in design.
When Paul and I first met at freshman orientation, of course that was before the days of cell phones. And so in order to exchange information, he gave me a card for a skateboard company that he had. So right from that I knew, 1, that he was entrepreneurial, and 2, that he was interested in things that are creative, because skateboards were blowing up back then.
I mean, that's the kind of guy that Paul is. When he knows a great idea, he makes it happen. When I had lunch with him some 5 years ago, and we're actually talking about Star Trek, I say, too bad the Star Trek tricorder doesn't exist. He goes, you're right, it should exist. I was just talking about that at a conference just a couple of days ago. And we go from that conversation to shaking hands on launching the $10 million Qualcomm Tricorder X Prize in the course of 30 minutes.
I've known Paul for probably 20 years, and it's really been through the connection of Qualcomm and the museum that have brought us together. He really seems to connect with and care about contemporary art. I don't think it's surprising. I mean, because contemporary art is of its moment, but it's also about the future. It's anticipating what comes next and trying to make sense of the world around us. And I think it's a kind of inquiry that lives deep in Paul, and that's partially why he's the innovator that he is. And I imagine somehow that's what technology and innovation is doing. It has to continually redefine itself for the present and for the future.
We believe that in the future we will need to train students who combine the best of artistic design, the aesthetic of great design, with the newest technology innovation.
One of the classes that we took together was CS 152. We did basically a paper design of a CPU, and we added a little bit of silliness to it. So we had 3 data buses in the CPU, and one was called this bus, that bus, and another bus. I think we both saw in each other a good partner and could push each other. I knew that I could count on him to really give his best and that we would end up with a great product. And, I think it showed in the grades that we got.
When I walk through the building, I feel very empowered. Growing up, I was always very creative, very artsy. I painted and I drew a lot as a kid.
As Paul was growing up, he would have enjoyed having what we now call maker labs, or the ability to kind of expand your own imagination into reality.
So, the maker culture is certainly something that's sweeping the world. But I think the Jacobs Design Institute goes beyond simply the maker culture, because it actually brings in this design thinking.
So it's sort of this full skill set of thinking and conceiving, but also the practicality of bringing it forward.
I think it's amazing that Jacobs was founded the year I came into Berkeley, and I discovered it maybe like my 2nd semester, and I'm growing with it as it's becoming a more evolved makerspace.
I have to say, the students are so deliriously happy to be using the building. The ultimate compliment is that the students really feel that Jacobs Hall belongs to them.
Paul, congratulations on receiving this great honor from your alma mater, namely being named Alumnus of the Year.
I think it is well deserved, and I'm so proud of all the things that you've achieved, and so grateful to have been part of your journey.
Paul, Alumnus of the Year, Jacobs, my congratulations. This award surely is a match between a great university and a great mind.
Thank you very much, Paul, for everything you've done for our students, for our faculty, and indeed for our community. Go Bears!